know it.
Got him, better get him.
Cause I got him.
I got him. Said you miss him,
But I got him.
I got him. The ones and the twos,
Yeah, I got him.
I got him. The threes and the fours,
Yeah, I got him.
I got him. The maxes and trainers, I got him.
What exactly is a Mikey Reds?
I think we might have touched on this.
Gang violence.
episode 2.
Like, why Reds?
Gang violence.
Yep.
He's gangbanging?
Apparently, still.
Yo, I love your shoes, Chris. My
Thanks, dude.
favorite shoes.
Those are bad.
Shout out, man. You know, we can get straight into the fist, man, because you know what I'm saying? What I call this one, strawberry chocolate. I brought strawberry chocolate back. You feel me?
Strawberry chocolate is a character.
I got one of my favorite shoes, if not my favorite shoe of all time in the collection, boys. I got the Toro Bravo Jordan 4s.
Those are good.
TikTok shop on the Pizants.
Shower curtains.
Paper planes on the chest.
Paper planes.
Dickies on the overly chest.
Okay.
Suave cut.
Don't forget about the chain.
I got double chained up. I totally forgot about my chains. Shout out J-Man. Shout out Jesus Christ.
Food chains.
Shout out my big sister, Cynthia. She got me this for my birthday.
My man's got on 2 chains.
Oh, I'm
y'all.
hiding the second chain. Hold on.
Yeah, he tucked the second chain, y'all.
Yeah.
2 chains, but I only got a few on.
I saw clearance and I had to tuck my chains in.
Damn, Debo style. You know how I do. Talk about my fit. It's cool. What are these? LA to Chicago
You should,
SBs. LA to Chicago SBs. What?
you should scratch them.
They are.
Well, more like full on Chicago.
I have Chicago's. LA Chicago SBs. Chrome heart on the socks. Since Rob was here, I wore some of the Fear God tearaway pants because just in case we got a hoop.
He's here.
Perfect. Billionaire Boys
You wanna go
Club.
find him?
Billionaire Boys Club on a shirt, and then I got a special hat
All right, give me
today.
a second.
Shout out Jonas. This is LSD inspired ASAP Rocky LSD from Hat Club. Shout out Jonas, Kid, whatever you want to call it.
The kid what? What's his full username?
That's cool. I just shouted out his hat.
Nah, his full username.
I shouted out his hat. Yeah, man. We
What's
here,
on the
man.
watch? Did you say your watch?
It's a babe watch.
It's just another babe watch.
We here, man.
Just another day in the office.
Just another day in the office.
Yeah, we could talk about what Mike got on. Y'all not gonna see it, but it's kind of funny though.
I got the City of Love Burgundy Crush dunks, nostalgic old school NBA logo sweats.
Mad colors.
Ross.
And Elisa, you said Ross? Actually, I got them at Burlington.
Best
Burlington.
joke.
Burlington, I was
Nah,
close enough.
Best joke of the day. Best joke of the
Bougie
day.
Ross.
What a douche.
Okay.
And a Billionaire Boy Club sleeveless Lisa t-shirt.
I can't talk shit. I got paper.
Nah,
I
you
got
back. Nah, you
paper,
back.
but-
You back. That was good.
Our guest is calling us. He is arriving soon, guys. So we're gonna come back with our guest on the show.
We were just talking about the Olympic sixes.
Some sneakers that are coming out.
Yeah.
Olympic sixes.
Well, we're
Those
just
came
talking about. No, we're just talking. They came out. I know I was saying it's pandemonium. We're talking about actually the impact of dropping your sneaker during the Olympics. Because the Tatum just debuted the Tatum 3. LeBron debuted the 22. And then who else? Anthony Edwards debuted the AE1 low.
Oh no, he wore that before, but probably a different colorway.
The new main colorways, yes. And then there's another one that just debuted.
I mean, to that point, you're doing it at a world stage. Literally, like the whole world.
It's
is
the world
watching.
stage.
So it's the biggest marketing campaign of all time. And Nike's going crazy for their marketing campaign.
What's up with the beef? We were just talking about the beef with KD though.
They just literally posted KD yesterday.
They had to. They had no choice.
KD made Nike get a commercial. That shit is crazy to me.
That's hard.
Shit is insane.
Wait, but why is LeBron not the leading scorer?
Because
he didn't play enough?
he missed Olympics. He
Got
didn't
it.
play Olympics like that.
Got
I think
it.
his last appearance in the Olympics was 16,
Got it.
which I don't even know if that's true. It might have been 12, the Redeem team.
Damn.
The 16 was the championship run he went on. So I doubt he played in 16. If you can check that, Mike, when the last time LeBron played in the Olympics.
No, he missed the Rio 2016 and Tokyo 2020.
Damn. So yeah, it's
Missed too.
what, 2012,
That's
14 years since he played in the Olympics or any type of international play. Which
Well,
is
he-
insane.
Well, he's back, guys. He is back.
His back. You know what I'm saying? You ready to go, or you want a little bit more time?
Take some time. No,
No, you
no
don't
rush.
have
No
to
rush.
rush, bro.
But yeah, he's back. You so we were talking about the Sixers too. You said you don't like the Sixers. They're disgusting.
No, I don't like the Sixers.
Oh my
I honestly
God.
have a gripe with the Sixers with the color blocking similar to the Carmine and the UNC.
What do you mean? That was like the alternate in that time. That's why they did that.
That's what I know, but that color blocking is not it. Like I'll go for a solid color six.
Mike wore them.
I don't mean that really doesn't.
Hold
really
on, don't walk through. We're gonna
introduce you.
Yeah, Mike wore them.
Michael wearing a certain shoe has never like intrigued me to the point like, oh my
What?
God,
That's why
Michael
we
wore it.
wear them, Christopher.
I mean, to start out, but now it's like we're so far removed from that.
No,
And that's just facts. That's
no, it's
just facts.
not. No, it's not.
People wear Dunks and Jordan 1s because of Travis Scott. People wear Jordan 1s and Dunks because of Virgil Abloh. People wear freaking Trainer 2s because of Ye. People wear Bo Jacksons. Oh, that's because of Bo Jackson. But
No. You people wear those shoes.
and
what does that mean?
Everyone.
No.
Yeah, what does
that's
that mean
not true.
exactly? He's
OG
Right.
sneakerheads don't do that.
Well,
son.
yeah.
You people, I mean you younger
but you're
sneakerheads.
not
That's
like-
what I mean, you
you're
people.
not like
That's what I mean by you
super- you're
people.
not like super OG.
No,
Like,
not
you-
super OG.
you like
I wear
middle
Bo
child.
Jacksons because of Bo Jacksons.
Okay,
I wear
that's
Ken
real.
Griffey's because of Ken Griffey. I wear Jordans because of
You don't
Jordan.
even wear King
Kobe's 'cause
Griffey's.
of Kobe.
Nah, you don't.
Okay.
Nah.
That's why I do that. No. We're not doing what?
None
Y'all,
of-
y'all just lost in the sauce. You wearing those? Why are you wearing those? You don't even know why. What
Mike,
does Toro
Mike
even
ain't
mean?
wearing these.
What, huh?
He ain't wear these.
I didn't say he wore those. What does Toro even mean to you?
No,
don't even know, you just out
I just
here.
like the shoes.
Oh, here.
I'm just out here, bro.
What color is your Tesla?
I didn't mean to-
y'all, yeah. Front him out.
He just
Front him
running
out.
me out.
Yeah. What's up?
It's a gray one.
The gray one?
Yeah. It's a
Oh,
gray
okay.
one. Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. You just aired me out like
Yeah, run that up. Let them
We're
know.
gonna- we're
Let the
gonna
people know.
We're gonna introduce our guest, man.
Okay.
Huge inspiration to the LA community, man, to the basketball community all over Southern California, if not the world at this point. We got my guy, Robert Valentine in the building. We got Rob in the building. How you feeling, man? How was your morning?
I'm doing good, man. Pretty good morning. A little bit of LA traffic, but you know how that is. LA traffic is LA traffic.
Where you coming from? If I may
Long
ask.
Beach.
Long Beach.
Long Beach.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, Long Beach. I do not like to go to Long Beach. It's crossing the bridge for me. I have anxiety when I cross that bridge. And I know you don't got to cross the bridge. But when I cross that bridge, I'll be having anxiety. I like
A lot of people say that actually, like that 710 bridge going over to Long Beach, it throws them off. I don't know why, but maybe just because we from LA.
It's different. Different. But no, you said LA traffic though. When do LA traffic start kicking for y'all?
Immediately.
I don't think it ever
When you step
stops.
out the door.
I think
There's no such thing as no LA traffic.
the business hours of traffic is probably like 5 to like 10 p.m.
If I leave the crib at like, what time I leave today? 6:40. I'll be here in like 30 minutes.
But you got that perfect freeway. Like you're right. You're right before the traffic. I'm
The
guessing you
101?
take the 5 and the 101.
Where you at?
Hollywood. So
Oh,
no,
yeah, you right on the 101 already.
Yeah,
You
like,
don't got to
yeah.
do nothing.
No, that section of the 101 is the worst though.
Nah,
That little
probably
section,
not.
yeah.
That little section is the worst.
But I mean, once you get past that section, it's free and clear for you.
Yeah.
That's true.
I got to come from all the way down past LAX traffic.
Yep. All that
Past-
industrial
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
405.
I got to pass Santa Monica traffic.
Ooh.
Beverly
405,
Hills
baby.
traffic.
Ooh.
That's all me
it's-
right there. That's my daily drive.
Yeah, it's a whole.
That's why you be complaining?
Bro, it's a
Not
beast.
anymore,
It's a
huh,
whole
buddy?
issue.
Full self drive, baby. Hell no, I'll never do that shit. Nah, fuck that.
What?
Traffic is traffic. Time is time.
I feel it.
I'm not.
Now, but you could self-drive and
Nah,
edit,
that's the-
edit while you
see,
driving.
That's insane. Hell no. Hell no.
I feel it. You know, can we talk about what we've been doing for the last couple of days? How we feeling? That's usually how we start. We usually say like, "How you been?" You just say, "How you been?" Right?
How you been, man?
I've been pretty good, man.
You been busy the last
I've been in the gym. We just got back from Philadelphia with my AAU team. We ended up going out to Made Hoops Nationals out in Manheim, Pennsylvania, and we placed third in their first ever, opportunity to play on like a circuit or something like that. So they did their thing out there. Real proud of my guys, and just got back and was in the gym yesterday, getting right back to it.
Do y'all have like specific like traveling team shoes that y'all be wearing, or everybody wear their own shoes?
I mean, the guys got, they wear their own shoes. I don't really make it mandatory for anybody to like be uniform like that. I like my players to kind of have their own personalities. And then that way that as their game develop, they can develop into the player that they're gonna be and the person they're gonna be, you know, according to that player. Because a lot of guys got these alter egos.
Facts.
You gotta kind of like grow that alter ego as still growing the man and the person. You know what I mean?
Was it like that growing up as a hooper? Like freedom of expression through like sneakers, socks, hairstyles, and stuff like that?
I feel like they had like a lot more rules against us. They didn't want us wearing like the bands on our wrists. They didn't want us wearing like different color socks that didn't go with our jerseys. They didn't want to wear us like the undershirt. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? Like they had a bunch of problems with us. Now it's like these dudes, even some of the jerseys be like, yo, that jersey is fresh. Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? So I think they have a lot more personality in the way that they can like express themselves now. Even to the point where I see a lot of referees not even worried about like piercings no more. Like they'll be like, yeah,
That's
just put
tape over it.
Just put tape over it. You can play, you know, things like that. So I think, you know, shout out to Birdman. He probably started all that where, you know, he had all the tattoos and the piercings and all that, and, you know, kind of, you know, paving the way for some of these young guys. I've seen some like, be honest, like I'm seeing guys at 14, 15, 16 with tattoos everywhere now.
That's crazy.
Back in the day,
so
it was like,
insane, bro.
Back in the day, you was afraid to even talk about a tattoo to your parents.
Not for real.
And now these dudes is going into the shop with their parent, like, yeah, he want to get that. So
it's to the point where 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds are getting fake tattoos to get the legs.
No, we always did that.
What? I never did that.
We did do that.
There's no way.
Yeah, we like definitely put like a little sticky tat, like 7 of them on us.
Yeah, but you ain't do that. You ain't go with your mom and they do a full body.
Yeah, it wouldn't happen. A necktie is crazy with mom.
Yeah, like
so
they
going to get a necktie.
Like,
is crazy
yeah, it's a kid online that be having like some crazy like full blown like neck tattoos and they be
all
fake ones, but
bro. That shit's all for the drip.
yeah.
Hold on, wait. I do want to say this. The reason I even brought up your own shoes because me and Mike were just having a conversation off mic. It had to do with my AAU coach made us wear mid-top Air Force Ones.
What?
Yeah, so we hooped the whole team.
Oh, you gotta say the color.
That's crazy.
It was a pair of black ones. The whole team.
That's crazy.
Shout out Coach Mike. He used to coach at Fairfax.
Who was your coach at Fairfax?
Mike at Fairfax. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But I didn't go to Fairfax. No, he was just he did an AAU coach.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, ain't no way I'm playing it.
But he had a Nike contract, Nike swoosh contract, and he went and bought us all black Air Force Ones. We hooped too. We won. We was winning.
What team was this?
All City West.
All City West.
All City West. Yeah, it was crazy. We was balling though. We had the homie Muggs. He had like 50 in them joints. It was crazy.
Having 50 in some forces sounds sick.
In mids though, it's crazy. And he had them unstrapped. The strap was swinging. It was a nasty time.
Someone needs to do that today.
That's why I said I'm gonna do that. If I get an AAU team,
you gotta get them in
I'm gonna put them in Air Force Ones and
you gotta
do
get
content.
your kids in forces, bro.
They gotta be supreme.
He saw my face, bro. There's no way I was ever. I'm sitting there blown away. Like,
Rasheed
what?
used to hooping them.
Rasheed Wallace?
Yeah.
And Rasheed Wallace
He
is
has his
like,
own
but
shoes,
Rasheed
too.
Wallace was like one step away from like being in he's like embedded into like an assailant asylum. You know what I'm saying? He was crazy. Like, I hooped with Rasheed Wallace in the run once and he cussed me out for like 5 minutes for not passing the ball up. Like, come on, man.
Did he cuss back?
Nah, you don't cuss at Rasheed Wallace. You sit there and go, okay, my bad. I don't want to fight you, bro. It's all good. Like,
like getting the ball so much, so they like
Sure. I mean,
I was that
hand it
guy.
every time you touched it, hand it over.
I was that guy.
You do that?
I was that guy.
You do that?
I'm not gonna lie, I was that guy.
Damn.
Give me the ball, get out of my way.
Damn,
Yeah, I was
okay.
that guy for sure. Yeah.
Asking for the rock. Yeah.
I wasn't asking. Give me the ball.
Give me the
I'm
fucking
telling
rock.
you, give me the ball. Yeah.
You ever go take it from people?
Sometimes.
I would.
Damn.
If somebody was getting a little bit too out of hand or something like that, like sometimes guys they think that they somebody that they not. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean? And it's not no disrespect to their game or what they're capable of, but maybe they just didn't really put that work in to be that guy. Like, don't get me wrong, you could get your shot off, all of us can, but if you don't make the shot, then it don't matter. It's basically like a turnover. So in my mind, if I got a guy coming down and he takes 3 and he ain't made nothing, you not taking another one. Like we're gonna do something different here. Cause I know I would have made 2 out of 3. So like we gotta transition that to somebody else that's making shots.
Okay.
You know, so I'm a firm believer in that. I don't care if it's Michael Jordan, you know, rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, Steve Kerr. It don't matter who it is. Like, if you ain't making shots, we gonna go somewhere else.
Give the ball. Right?
So have you ever done that to like a player who's supposed to be the elite player on the team? He came down and missed 2 shots. You like, nah, give it to me.
Prove
Yeah.
your shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Right.
mean, the AAU teams I played on, we didn't believe in like one guy being that guy.
Mm.
So like you gonna play if we all out here playing at the same level. Like if you can make that shot, I can make that shot. You could dunk the ball, I could dunk the ball. You could pass the ball, I could pass the ball. So I don't have to rely on you. And I think that's what a lot of players need to realize is don't disappear when another top end guy is there. You know what I mean? Like,
Fact.
Talk about it.
you got a top end guy on your team, you better let him know that you're a top end guy. Because once they see that they feel like they're that dude and nobody else is, you know what I'm saying, trying to take over that role, they're gonna be like, oh no, y'all all done.
Everybody's rising together.
None of y'all could get on this level now. I'm the only one. You know what I mean? So that's a hard battle right there.
Has that ever happened to you, like in an opponent? Like he was so cocky to the point, like, give me the ball, and you guys had like trade off battles.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I played against a lot of guys coming up in AAU ball. You know, like, you know, you play against the Steph Currys, the Russell Westbrooks, the James Hardens, the, you know, Derrick Roses, and people don't really realize it, but like when you're playing high level AAU ball, you play against all those dudes, and you don't even know that that's the dude. Like, you know what I mean? Because they get their names later. Like, you know, like when I played against, you know, Derrick Rose for the first time, I didn't know that was Derrick Rose. Like,
yep.
I didn't know who he was.
It wasn't a long day for you?
I mean, no. I mean, it was a normal game. Again, like I said, you're talking about 2 high-level ball players, right?
Yeah.
But he wasn't the Derrick Rose that everybody knows. He was just a normal basketball player finding his way.
Yeah.
Just like I was at the time. I mean, when you're 13, 14, you're not Derrick Rose yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Derrick Rose didn't get a name until he was, sophomore in high school?
But did Kevin Garnett, was he 14 when he had his name though?
Kevin Garnett was
That's
huge.
a whole different level. He
Yeah.
got drafted out of high school.
What about
I mean,
LeBron?
Drafted
Yeah,
out of
but
high
those
school.
dudes are
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
though.
yeah,
Also,
yeah,
you got to
yeah.
think about it. Like, you're talking about guys that were like at 14, they were like 6'5",
Facts. That's a fact.
6'6",
That's a fact.
dunking like
Number one
grown
in the country.
men.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like, I mean, a lot of us didn't start dunking like that and start flying like that until our sophomore, junior year.
Facts.
You know, like I watched all those guys. I didn't see Derrick Rose really like going crazy. He was playing up though.
Yeah.
You know, he was playing up. He was playing in our age group, which is up. But I'm saying he wasn't going crazy at the time.
Yeah.
Then, you know, fast forward 2 years later and everybody's like, yo, did you see that dunk? And you're like, yo, that's the same dude we played against a couple years ago. Like, he's crazy now. You know, like same thing with Brandon Jennings. When I was coming up, Brandon Jennings was good. He was a good basketball player. Everybody knew who he was. But then by the time he was a sophomore, he's putting the ball through his legs and dunking in warm-ups. That changes everything.
It was
like,
disgusting.
completely changes everything.
I was actually going to mention that because we played against him. I think he might have been a sophomore, and his buzz was really starting to grow. But I think for me, like my ignorance, I was ignorant to the elite, like to not being able to distinguish the difference. I knew he was the best on the team, but I didn't know he was going to be Brandon Jennings.
Yeah, you know he was that good.
Yeah, so I was going to mention that actually. He was nice, but I feel like he was all around too. And then once he left and went to Oak Hill, I think that's when I was like, oh, snap. Okay.
That's when you really
didn't see that,
realize it,
yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
you didn't see it when you played against him, but then you find out, like, oh, wow. Like,
Because then he would drop like a quiet 25 too. It wasn't like loud. It was quiet.
Okay. I want to go off that point. What the hell is a quiet 25, 30 piece? Is that actually a thing?
Just like passive. You're not really talking no shit. Like, kind of making
So it's the
everything.
antics that is quiet?
now,
I mean, you kind of like being like very efficient too.
I believe it's more like it's scoring throughout the game as opposed
Mm-hmm.
to scoring in bunches. Like, when you see a dude like you look at like Anthony Edwards right now, he scores like 8 to 12 points in like 2 minutes. That's loud.
That was
Like,
loud,
everybody can see it. You know what I mean?
Versus like 4, 6 a
Four every
quarter.
quarter.
Yeah, it's like if you come down, you hit a 3 randomly, you get a layup on a fast break, you know, something breaks down, you get another little jump shot in the middle of the key. Like, everybody's not going nuts over it because you're not like going crazy.
It's so fundamental.
Like a
Very
Kawhi?
fundamental.
Man.
Like a Kawhi?
Kawhi is
about Kawhi,
definitely
man.
a quiet scorer.
Okay,
We're
thank
not
you.
talking about Kawhi Leonard.
Thank you.
We're just not
Who
talking
else is
about
a quiet scorer like that? Like, fuck.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell's a quiet
Donovan
scorer.
Mitchell's a quiet dude. He doesn't really explode like that unless he's like pushed into an area. Like if you back him into a corner, he'll go off. But he likes to score with his team and kind of play through the game like that, stuff like that.
Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese Halliburton is random, but yeah.
Yeah, though. Yeah, I look up and he'll have 22. I'm like, what?
That's true.
22 and 8. I'm like, what's going on?
Rob was a loud scorer, by the way, guys. In high school, you could do both, but we knew Rob was scoring.
Just
50
yeah,
points.
I was gonna go off that, but just to rewind a bit, this man was a professional hooper, turned trainer, all that. Well, can you explain to us where'd you play? From high school, college, overseas?
I played at Kennedy High School in Granada Hills, California. I was top player there. Did pretty good there. Averaged some pretty good numbers. Did some pretty impressive stuff. Like first 6 weeks of senior season, I was leading the nation in scoring, averaging like 45 a game. Cool. Then I went from there. I went to a junior college 1 year. I wasn't really a school person. Wasn't really a person that cared about grades and all that type of stuff. So my parents, my mom did school for a little bit, but my dad really never did school. They were more like start a business, do your thing, get your life moving. So when I told them that I wanted to pursue basketball, my dad just told me, if that's what you're gonna do, then you better do it. Like, don't be somebody that talks about it. You know what I mean? Like if you're gonna pursue basketball, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Make it happen. So I went to a junior college and I ended up getting a scholarship to NAI school out in Arkansas called Ecclesia College. Played 3 years for basketball there. Did really well there. At the NAI Division I level, you deal with a lot of Division I dropbacks.
Yeah.
So you end up playing against like some of these names and some of these people that are supposed to be on that Division I level, and you get to kind of like test your mettle against them and see like, am I really supposed to be on that level? And everybody I came up against that was a Division I player, I averaged anywhere from 28 to 38 points on those guys. Got done with that, came home for a year. I was playing in the Drew League and then playing in also what was called the it was at Hollywood High School. The Jester Black, the JB League. The Jester Black, he had a league going, and I was playing in that with Chester Harvey, and then I was playing with Pasadena in the Drew League in the old gym when Kobe used to play in that gym, and I ended up getting a call. Somebody told me to come down to a LA Fitness and play some basketball. Said it was going to be a lot of guys there, and I was just like, LA Fitness. Like, I was like, bro, I don't play at LA Fitness. Like, what are you talking about? Like
Ceiling all
and because I was thinking to myself like trying to go pro and everything like that.
Type
So
shit, yeah.
why am I gonna go play with a bunch of dudes at LA Fitness? But they were having like a pro run up there. Like one of the pro guys just like rented out the gym for like 3 hours, and it was pro guys in there. So I went in there and did it, and I got hot, started getting after it, and ended up dunking a couple on some cats and stuff like that. And there was this dude in there. He had played in England, and he called the coach right there on the spot.
Oh,
like, he called the coach right there on the spot and told the coach, like, literally verbatim, he was like, I have your next point guard sitting right next to me.
That sounds
And
like some 2K.
the coach was like, let me talk to him. And I get on the phone, and it's this English accent on the other end. And he's
Hey,
like,
Mike.
you want to come play? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, look, if he says you're ready, I'll send you a plane ticket. I was like, all right. And 2 days later, I had a contract. A week
Life
later.
change.
Off of LA Fitness, bro. Y'all
Life change.
don't be talking shit to me.
Yeah.
I still have time,
Right?
You have to get a couple
Right.
dunks and be getting after it. son.
Don't even
Yeah, so
Not
I-
just getting after it.
Yeah.
Getting after it with a couple dunks.
yeah, so after that run, literally within 8 days, I was in England. Yeah, playing ball. So
That's crazy.
it was a pretty interesting situation. Man.
What LA Fitness is this?
The Universal Studios.
What pros was there? Who was
That's
there?
me.
They had guys like at the time Jordan Farmar was there.
Okay.
Aaron Aflalo was there. They had Chase Buttinger. He was just making his name into the league. They had what's his name? Tyrese Evans.
Tyreek.
Tyreek Evans.
Yeah.
Tyreek
he
Evans
was
was
dog.
there.
This is a rant. This is a rant.
Yeah,
He
Tyreek
got
Evans
defense
was
too.
there, and
Just
then
getting him
and then
like-
they had like a bunch of college guys, just
Okay.
a bunch of college guys sprinkled in with that. And I think really what it was I think Tyreek Evans' agent was there looking for the guys that were going to be probably the next person to get a shot at the league from college. So, but it was cool, man. It was a good run. It was a great experience for me. And you know, I tell people like this, man. In basketball, you got to have skill, you got to have grit, and you got to have a little bit of luck.
A little bit of luck.
So,
How was England for you though? Because you had a lengthy professional career.
I'm not gonna disrespect anybody or anything,
But-
but I personally did not like England at all. I don't like the cold like that, and England is 300 and I think 28 days or 338 days of just
Very cool.
gloom, cold, snow, rain, and it was hard for me to play there. But you know, my love for basketball outweighed all of that stuff. So, you
How
know,
long were you there?
I was there for the season. It was a 6-month season.
Shit.
Did you drink a lot of tea?
I didn't drink any tea, but I did drink a lot of other stuff.
Well, are you married? You
No,
married?
I'm not. No.
Okay. Fuck a lot of bitches?
Not in England.
Not in England.
You
okay.
wouldn't have done that in England either.
Really?
No, it's
Okay.
it ain't.
It ain't that?
It ain't the
Okay.
prettiest
Got it.
country in the world.
Got it.
you know what I'm
Got
saying?
it. Understood.
It's, you know, but I went from there. I went to Germany. I went to Sweden. Went to Paris for a little bit. Went to Malta, Italy. Then
Holy shit.
How many
ended up-
black people was there
When?
when you went?
Where?
With you on the team?
Oh, in England team?
Yeah.
Zero.
You was the only one?
You was on
I had a dude from Spain. He was from the Canary Islands. His name was Adriano.
Okay.
That's my guy.
Okay.
Adri.
Okay.
He
Adri.
didn't speak much English, but he knew that one song. She got a big booty. I like a big booty. So whenever he would say something to him, he would just say a couple words, and then he would say that at the end. That was my guy, man.
Yo, that's hilarious.
I love. Shout out to Adriano, man. He's a big time agent out in Spain now, actually.
Nice.
Yeah. So
How'd you navigate all that through the language barriers and all the culture differences and playing professional overseas?
I think the coolest part about the whole overseas thing for me was that they had like translators from most of the places that I went to, but most of the places that I hit playing ball, they're more urbanized countries, so English is a language there.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like not everyone is just like sold on their language and they don't worry about nothing else. The school systems were so advanced when I started playing ball that a lot of these schools have English teachers. They already have curriculum to teach English. So when you're dealing with the younger portion of the community, which I was, you know, when I'm 22, 23 years old playing out there, I'm able to speak to the younger generation, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know English, man." Da-da-da. Like I took English for 6 years already. Like, you know what I mean? Like I could talk to you, and you know, most of the teammates that you have, they're real versed in, you know, watching American shows, listening to American music, all that type of stuff. So it was cool, man. It wasn't as hard as what the stories that you hear when you're like, "Yeah, bro, I couldn't talk to nobody for 6 months. I was out there by myself." Like, nah, I wasn't dealing with that.
I mean, basketball is a universal language at the end of the day.
But no family and being out and kind of having like that little barrier will send you back home quick.
Yeah, I actually have a
Depending.
friend that played in Slovenia, and he was like, I couldn't do it. He had to come back. It was too hard.
Yeah, a lot of guys, and you know, no offense, but like a lot of guys are just not cut for overseas basketball. You know, overseas basketball is not it's not glitz and glam like everybody thinks. And I get it, like everybody always has this, you know, oh, look at old boy, he driving a Maserati or he's not in a nice BMW. He got the fine woman with the BBL and the da-da-da-da. And they're like, yeah, but that's the 1% of the overseas guy. The 1%, like the 1% is the dude that can afford that girl and afford that car and go to those parties. Like most of the guys that are overseas are making anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000 a year. So when you break it down, they're working a normal 9 to 5.
They got a 9 to 5.
Yeah, they're working, and that's why. And shout out to Frank Robinson. He said this on a podcast too. There's a lot of guys that are regular civilians playing basketball. They're not technically, they haven't made it overseas. You know, like a lot of these guys are making $30,000, $40,000 for the year. You know, they're in a realm of certain things. Now, depending on where that guy's starting at, he might have started at $800 a month. You know what I mean? So that's why I tell people, like, you always have to take everything with a grain of salt. Don't let people lie to you, and don't let people steer you in a direction you don't want to go in. Like, you know, I have a kid right now, 6'5", handles it, shoots it, does all that type of stuff. He's talking to me the other day about going overseas. And I say, you want to go overseas, but you don't understand you haven't made a name for yourself. Because you haven't made a name for yourself, you might mess around and have to pay to play your first year.
Yeah. I've heard a lot of those chances that
pay
people
to play. Hold on, can y'all explain?
Like, you know, some of these teams, they don't have the money like everybody, all these other teams.
Yeah.
Because overseas basketball organizations are usually based on their sponsorship. So if they have good sponsorship, they can pay you a fee. If they have bad sponsorship, they might not even pay for your housing. Like they might be like, yo, your housing is gonna be discounted, but it's gonna cost this much. You know, like
so you just paying to live in a foreign country just to hoop.
Just to hoop.
My first year,
taking a big risk.
My first year, I tell
That's
people
love.
like this, man. My first year, in order for me to make real money on my first year, my first contract, I had to be a youth coach. I had to be a youth coach and a trainer. So that's really what started me in this training game, and what got me pushing that way was in England, I was making pretty good money per month for a brand new rookie player that didn't have a name. But I wanted more bread. So I tapped in with the coaches and was like, how do I get more bread? They was like, well, if you could if you could coach with the teams and stuff, you could coach youth team, you could coach the high school team, you could coach the college team. I was like, y'all gonna let me coach all them teams? They're like, yeah. I'm like, y'all know I ain't never coached before, right? They like, don't matter, you're you. Like, all right, cool. Like, so I jumped in and I just started throwing stuff out. I remember running like a motion offense, a pass and screen away, and then I remember like a screen and roll type of play. That's all we
That's
ran.
all it is. It's a free line.
Everything else, I said, hey, man, go. Just go. Just shoot it. Go. I don't know what to tell you.
Just shoot
You know
it.
what I mean?
Shoot it.
We ain't had no out of bounds play. We wasn't no out of bounds play. Wasn't no press break. I was doing stuff on the fly. I remember one time this team was pressing the heck out of us. We turned the ball over like 6 times. I was like, I called a timeout. I said, "All y'all run in front of the free throw line." It was like, what? I said, get as close to the baseline as possible. It was like, all right. So they did it, and for some reason, the defense went down there with them too. So I told them, I said, if the defense go down there, just sprint the other way as fast as you can. You throw the ball hard as you can. Make sure it's not behind them. And literally, we scored like 8 points off that. And I was just like, I didn't know what to do. But at the end of the day, it was like, we're going to figure it out. And the crazy part is that college team that I was playing with, Sheffield, they got their first ever varsity point while I was coaching. And that out there, technically, like a varsity point is like winning a championship out there.
Oh.
So I actually took that team from, they won 2 games the year before. They won a championship the next year with me.
This Coach
So-
Carter.
So it was pretty cool, man.
He got signed from an LA
cool,
Fitness
bro.
run, and you flipped the whole program around.
It was pretty cool.
This is a movie, bro.
It was pretty cool. I was like, man, I was like, that's dope. Like, for real. Like,
I know you got a book out, right? Or it's coming out?
I'm going to be writing a book.
Okay, writing a book. Is that in the book?
It's going to be.
That
It's-
needs to
gotta
be
be a
a
documentary.
movie or a doc.
Yeah,
Two.
it's gonna be. All
That's
of this
fire.
stuff is definitely gonna be in my
That's
book. man.
fire.
I think my story is one of those stories that I think a lot of kids and a lot of people can like resonate with, because I wasn't the dude that had the clout. You know what I mean? Like I was a good ball player. I did crazy stuff. Like in a pro-am after my senior year, I dropped 76 points on some dude that was named the Elevator that played overseas in Germany at the time. He was playing in Frankfurt, Germany for a big team. And I mean, I was with this dude named Coach Wilson. He ran what was called the Reach and More program. It was a nonprofit program that brought in basketball players. He did training for them. He did conditioning for them, and he held a league. So in the league, it was like a lot of high-level basketball players, like my guy Omar Cram, who's played 15 years overseas. Guys like that played in it, yeah, I just went off one game, went unconscious, and just literally had like one of the highest scoring games in that league ever. So
I thought we were getting away from. I was like, hold on, we're not going to just shout everybody out and get away from 73 points. You said
76.
76. We're not going to just walk away from 76 points. So,
is that your highest performance?
Yeah, that's my highest. Yeah.
Could ask.
Can we talk about getting in the zone and like what that feels like? Like the other day, because I heard about the 76 points and I was like, I was telling Mike, I was like, the highest I've scored is like 36.
Mm-hmm.
And when I had 36, I felt like I had 76.
Mm-hmm.
How did it actually feel to have 76? Like once you pass 50, once you pass 45 to me.
30 is like
30 is a lot?
30 is a lot.
You can shoot a lot of threes and get 30 fast though.
If you can make it.
If you can make them, that's what I'm saying.
You got to be a certain player
like,
to hit 30
that's
points.
how I got that high. I was making a lot of threes, but 76. Let's stay there. I'm sorry.
I think what happens is like you kind of start to feel like everything is kind of like in motion, and like when I get into those zones, or when I get into like what they call the flow state now, because back in the day they used to call it the switch. He knows what I'm talking about. People used to say,
never been in that.
He knows what I'm saying. When you flip that switch, he used to hear that a lot. Like you flip that switch and then it's gonna be a different game. We used to call it flipping the switch. Now everybody calls it the flow state because all of the new trainers and science and everything like that, right? But what used to happen to me was like I would get this fog around me. Like I would get this fog around the gym.
This is in the book too, y'all.
This fog. It was like a fog, like where I would end up playing by myself.
Yeah.
I wasn't playing against the person in front of me or their team or their transitions or their rotations. I was playing basketball by myself, like in my backyard. And that was something that my dad always told me. Like my dad used to always yell this while I was playing. My dad would be yelling outside. Like he would yell, backyard, backyard. Like he would yell it loud. And people used to ask me like, why does your dad yell backyard? And it's like that's where I was bred. Like my brothers, I got 9 older brothers. They're all huge. They all used to beat up on me and, push me around and stuff like that. So
It's got tough.
I had to fight against all these dudes every day. Every time I came home, right away, we on the court. No homework, no none of that. You ain't doing your homework right now. You trash. Get out there. I'm about to bust you up. Like all that type of stuff. So that was what I went through my whole life. And I would get into these flow states sometimes where I remember starting like my freshman year of high school. I was a varsity player freshman year. And I would just kind of like, and those flow states were like, that was like an 18-point game. And it was like, oh, I just went off. Like, you know what I mean? And people were like, yeah, that was cool. And I was just like, what? I'm a freshman. Like, hey, 18, 20 points. What are you saying? Like, but it was like a fog for me. It would be like if we were in this area right here and we were playing a game and that started to happen for me, all of you would disappear. And it would just be me and the rim would look really, really, it looked like the size of that, thing right there. It's like, it's just like a big, like, platform that I can just, I love the game so much that making the shots it brings like happiness to my body. So when I see the rim start to open up like that, it's just like, oh, like my eyes get real big. And then I start to get like this like rhythm. And then like, I feel like the more, when you're in real shape, I feel like the more you sweat, the faster you get. So like when you're in real like athletic shape, like when you're in a level like, some of these top athletes, man, like they're getting up to speeds of 18, 20 miles an hour when they're running, stuff like that. Like I remember in college, I got up to 19 miles an hour on that speed machine.
Oh, I was about to say, with the ball?
No, when you're like, they do this thing where you kick this thing and you just boom, 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 boom. And I got up to like 19, 20 miles an hour at one point. And when you're in that type of shape, I just think that everything kind of flows, you know. And I think when that happens, I think that's the flow state that everybody talks about.
I've always heard stories, and I've actually witnessed it in person when we used to go work out at Devs. You tend to piss yourself off the slightest inconvenience. You used to say, "Oh fuck, I hit the rim. Like what the fuck?"
Yeah.
Or like, "Stop slapping me," and they didn't even slap you.
Yeah.
Have you always carried that your whole life with every aspect of life?
I learned that from Jordan.
That is a Michael Jordan thing.
Yeah, I learned that from Michael Jordan. I went to a camp, and they were playing some video, and they were talking about Michael Jordan, and they were like, "Yeah, you know, like." And then this guy gets on the mic and he goes, "Mike had this thing where he would make up false stories, and he would say them so much that he would start to believe them, and then he would get angry." And I didn't really need to make up a false story. I would just like. The second I was on the floor and they like from the tip off, like somebody was like, "Oh, I got so-and-so, I got so-and-so, I got so-and-so." The guy that says I got him, I view that as disrespect already. Like I feel like everybody should be like, "Yo, you guard him." No, you guard him. Like, I don't want to guard him. You guard him. Like that's how I felt. So when somebody was like, "I got him," I'd be like,
"What's up? Like, you
what's wrong with you?
Yeah,
like,
do you not know who I am?"
Like that's disrespectful. So then it would be like a problem, and then like I would get anything that happens on the floor, it's gonna trigger me at that point. So it's like, you know, like me and him, I get into a mix with him, and he tries to bump me, or I'm coming down and he fouls me or does something like that, and it's gonna trigger me to the point where like now I'm tunnel vision, like it's just him, like I'm gonna destroy him no matter what. Like I don't care what anybody does, what anybody else on his team is doing, like he's gonna get killed, and that's just that. Like I played to like take people's heart away from them.
You do it
like,
to Mike?
me and Mike had some issues back in the day.
I never had to guard him though, because he was the point guard.
Yeah,
But he said he'd be coming downhill, so
He
you never got dunked on.
He didn't catch you on the screen. He said, "Fuck out the
never
way."
got banged on. Out of bounds
I'm sure
play.
he caught a few people, but
I'm
gonna get out the way.
I'm not gonna lie. I dunked on Mike's boy in high school. The other tall dude that was on your team. He talked a gang of shit.
DJ?
Nah, tall dudes, either Santi or Justin. Santi. He was our center. Big
Santi.
guy.
I caught Santi.
Yeah.
Santiago,
I
right?
believe that, yeah. Santiago,
Go-Go.
Yeah,
Go-Go.
yeah,
I
exactly.
caught Go-Go. But I'm not gonna lie, he was a bit of an enforcer.
Okay.
So he wasn't really letting you get off the floor like that. Like he was
Like
he
his
was,
favorite player,
dunking
Bill
on you,
Laimbeer
homie.
yeah,
type
like
shit?
he was an enforcer. Like when and we kind of all knew about that too. Like my coach like had it in the breakdown. Like, yo, when you go at him, you got to make sure that you like you get your bearings, because he's gonna hit you. You know
Would
what I'm saying?
you say you're the same way then, Mike? Like off the slightest inconvenience, it pisses you off?
I didn't learn that until after college. So in high school, I wasn't like that. I was just a role player in high school.
So you was just fucking people up?
Yeah. In college, I was
Just
just a
big as
shooter.
hell.
But afterward, then I learned that. I learned you describe it so well too. I was like, damn, I know exactly what that feels like.
I do the same thing to an
Yeah.
extent.
But what do you do? What same exact thing do you do, sir?
So
Tell
like
people.
like a handshake, or like people have,
And that
like,
makes you mad.
I always think false confidence pisses me off. Like if you really think you're him, like you're gonna show it. If you're
Okay.
talking a big game, you're not showing it, it's gonna piss me off.
Got you.
I'm not the best. I'm not gonna say I'm the best, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
better than most.
We're talking about the flow state right
I'm
now.
better than I can get into the floor. I'm a
Okay.
shooter. I'm a shooter
All right.
first.
I'm
I'm a
gonna
shooter
say,
first. Everything else,
he gets buckets.
everything
Okay.
else, I
was
don't
gonna say.
dribble. I'm
Okay.
big, but one thing I can for sure do is shoot the fucking rock.
Okay.
You got a little bit of a handle. Don't try to play
Yeah, he
yourself
does,
like that.
he
You got
does.
a little
He got
bit
a
of
little
a
handle.
handle.
He
I
like
give you
disrespect
that.
me, you know.
I give you that. He got a
He's
little
trying to
bit of
trigger
a
you,
handle.
bro.
He got you know how they call it sneaky bounce? He got a sneaky handle. He's like, he'll hit you with something, you'll be like, whoa, I wasn't
A
expecting
sneaky
that, bro.
handle.
Like,
crazy.
He calls me the what of Lucas? The Joe Ingles of Luka Doncic.
Yeah, Joe Ingles of Luka
hey,
Doncic.
Joe
Sure.
Angles is cold though. Don't play with Joe, man.
Yeah, but you'd be like, what is he doing out there? Oh, that's a bucket.
because
What
he
the
looks like
fuck
he
is
works
going
at
on?
construction camp.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Type
why.
shit.
Yeah.
He really cool.
Don't even
though.
jump off the ground. Credit card off the ground.
I would say you have the same thing. The fuck?
It's 'cause
Not anymore.
I don't
'Cause you
even
don't
play
take it
basketball
personal,
like
but
that no
in
more.
everyday
You know,
life.
you remember,
Yeah,
you know a dude that used to look like that, and like we all played against him back in the day, but he was cold.
Who?
Remember Ritzy?
Ritzy, tall, skinny, went to
Yeah,
Taft.
remember
yeah,
Ritzy?
Yeah, Ritzy could hoop.
But
I
he
hate
looked
Taft.
like a dude that was like, he looked like he was like working on computers and like doing like
Yeah.
like looked like he was like doing like coding or something all the time. Like when you just saw him, like
He
nah,
is coding
for real,
inside
like,
his head.
For real,
He
you
was
see him
nice.
like you see him sitting before the game and he'll be sitting there like
With his back
chilling,
straight.
like back straight, chilling
That's
like this,
scary,
and you're
bro.
like, yo, he not playing. Like you'd be like, he not playing. He just watching the game, and then he's suited up right after that. You like.
And you're
Yo,
like, I'm
he's
gonna get him
playing.
buckets.
And then you like, yo, I'm about to kill him. And then he like sits down on defense and actually got a jumper on him and all that. You like, yo, there's no way this dude
He's
can play
coding
like
while
this.
he's playing and shit.
Like, but nah, yeah. Shout out to Ritzy, man. He's a good ball
That's
player.
crazy, man.
Man. Yeah.
That's hard. So, whole professional career, and you said you had a little bit of coaching and trainer experience. How did that lead you to where you are today in training and coaching an AAU program?
So remember I talked to you about that luck version of getting good at basketball. So I was playing in China. I did 3 years or 4 years in China. I started in China playing wild ball. A lot of people don't know what wild ball is. Wild ball is you get picked up by this random dude that has a team and he's betting on games out there. And there's other teams out there from all over the place.
Is it like 3-on-3 or is it like
Nah, it's
5-on-5?
5-on-5.
Sorry,
5-on-5?
question. Did
Okay.
you play with Pooh?
Who?
Jeter.
Yeah, I play with Pooh Jeter.
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
I play with Pooh
Okay.
Jeter, yeah.
Okay.
But like they were doing things like this where you would go to different provinces, different cities, and you would just play games
For money?
for bread.
That's hard.
Right? So they would tell you, like, hey, bro, like you a pretty good player. I'm gonna pay you like $700 a game. I'll pay you $1,200 a game. I'm gonna pay you this, pay you that. So everybody had different pay scales and
you get like
everything
bonuses
that.
after the game?
So yeah, you win. They might come into the room like, hey, bro, here go your cut. Like,
So are you playing pickup on trying to getting paid?
it was like 5-on-5 pickup with refs,
And y'all getting paid?
and
for
we
it?
getting paid if we win.
That's hard.
Yeah, so it's like that. That's basically what it is. And
That's
it's
hard.
it's a concept of in China called wild ball.
That's
So I'm
crazy.
playing there, and I get picked up by the Hong Kong Basketball Association. So I'm playing in Hong Kong, and I'm playing there for a year, and then I'm going back for my second year, and then I get a call from a guy, and he's like, "Hey, I heard you were a trainer," and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Who told him this?" I was like, "I'm playing ball right now. This
From
is
the hoop,
weird."
yeah.
He's like, "Yo, but he was like, my name's Atir," and I'm like, "Atir." And he's like, yeah. I played with the Lakers back in 2015, and I was like, I know who this is. That's Atir Majuk. I was like, okay, because he was a big African dude that played with the Lakers. He got called up from the G League, played with the Lakers for a little bit, and then he ended up, starting his overseas career. But he was like, yeah, man, I'm looking for a trainer. I'm in the NBL in mainland China. Wanted to know if you could come over. So I was like, bro, I'm literally in a season right now. Like, I can't just leave. And he's like, nah, you can. You could just fly over here, do my training, go to back for your games. Like, you'll be good. Like,
Yeah, bro.
So I'm thinking like, yeah, I'll double dip. I'll take this bread over here and take
Go
that
back,
bread
yeah.
over there. So I'm like, yeah. So when I show up, it was only him as an import at first. So I was like, okay, cool. Then the talks start happening,
Word of mouth.
and no, it wasn't about me. It was about who was coming, like who else was coming. And I'm like, oh shit, they're about to have a national championship player come play because they about to pick up Russ Smith. He went to Louisville. Shout out to Russ Dickulus, man, my guy right
How
there.
tall was he? He was short, wasn't he?
He's about my height, 6'2", 162. But he was a phenomenal and is a phenomenal basketball player. He probably one of the best basketball players I've ever personally seen play basketball in front of me, like just watching it in that concept. Yeah, like I was there, and the team that I was playing for started having a problem with me traveling because I wasn't going to practice. They're like, man, you're not practicing, but you playing in these games. And I'm like, but I'm still averaging 28. Like, what difference does it make? Like, I'm still scoring like crazy, right?
But you got to talk about it because they'll send your ass home. My homie
You
got
can't
sent
send-
home like
you-
that.
You can't send me home. I already had another job.
Okay.
So I didn't care if they had a problem because I already had another job. I was training in China.
Got you.
So, yeah, no problem. I
I'm
lose
training these guys over here. I got a hotel. I got everything already good over here.
Got it.
I'm supposed to be playing over here and practicing 3 times a week.
Yeah.
But practice, I'm like, well, I need
Don't make
practice for.
perfect.
I'm like, technically, I'm getting better over here because I'm in a better facility. I got weights. I got all this different stuff. And I'm training 2 players that are better than the players that are on the team. Like, I could do this right
They need to
here,
come
right?
fly over here.
So I come over here, train, go back over there, go kill, go back over there, train. You know what I'm saying? They had a problem with it. So they was like, look, we done. Here's your last check. We don't want no parts of that. I'm like, all right, bet. So now I'm over there full time.
Mm.
So when I get back the second time, Russ Smith is there.
Fire.
So, naturally, me being a mover and a shaker like I am, I walk up to him like, what's up, man? How you doing? You need a trainer? He's like, what? I'm like, I'm a trainer. I'm here training to tear my juke. I could train you as well. I could put y'all through workouts, lifting, band work, all that type of stuff. He's like, bet. What's it gonna cost me? I gave him the number. He was like, whatever. He threw in me, him, and another dude. Technically, his name was Rob, a Chinese kid that went to Kent State, and he was training and he was like he was a basketball player on the team, and he was the translator for the team as well.
Mm.
So he was double dipping. He was getting translator check and a basketball check.
Smart.
So we used to play this game called 13s every night. This is like a card game. It's called 13s, and we used to play that every night. And we had a blast doing that. But I just remember that season, Russ averaged 61.3 a game that season. And some of the little things that I taught him and some of the little hesitations and little movements that I would give him, he just perfected them so quick. It was like after you show him something one time, he was so cerebral that it was like it was embedded in him and he could just do it. And, he had his own breakdowns, which helped me in my training. He had things that he was showing me through the training sessions. He's like, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to do this. And I was like, oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So then I started to kind of pull from what he was doing. And then Atir was trying to show me a lot of like post work because he's a post player. So he's, working on all his different touch shots and everything like that. So that's what kind of helped me learn the post game a little bit more because I wasn't really a post up guard. I was athletic, so I could jump over the top of guys and just make a shot. But when you talk about like bumping and spinning and up and unders and all that, I wasn't really that guy. So those guys, they helped me a lot with the training side of it. And that was what blew it all up. Once I got done with that, I came home and my mentor, Keon Kendrick, shout out to Keys to the City. He is the ambassador of LA basketball. He's been training basically everybody. He was one of Kobe's trainers, one of Kevin Durant's trainers. He was LeBron James's point guard at USA when they were in junior USAs. He's done a lot with the game of basketball. He's given a lot to the game of basketball, and he's the person that, set me up. My first year coming home, I walked into a gym. He gave me the reins to the training and said, go train them. And I was looking at, 15 pro players at 8 a.m. that were all looking at me saying, come on, let's go. And I was like, the hell am I supposed to do? And he was like, I just want to see what you know. And I showed what I know. And he came out and critiqued some things and started teaching me stuff. And he was the person that made me, study the top 100 NBA players. And, then it went from the top 100 players to the top 50 overseas players to the top 50 collegiate players to the top, 20 high school players. And I had to learn all their games and understand the lingo and understand why they played the way they played. And I think once I got to that point, now I'm where I'm at now.
Talk about studying players. I heard that you study the players that you're training to go against. So basically, like, you study the other guys for your guys.
I don't study for my guys. I don't do that. I teach my guys how to be killers.
Okay.
So I'm going to teach you how to be an absolute killer. So when you step on the floor, those guys got to play against you.
Okay.
So that's kind of the difference with me as a trainer now. When I first started out, yes, I was doing that.
Okay.
Like, okay, you got to play Taft High School. Okay, let me go online real quick and see who their marquee guy is, what he does well, where he likes to go, what he doesn't like to do, what disrupts him, what bothers him, and then I can kind of just let them know, like just by telling them what to do. But when it comes down to training, training is more of like a mental game. You have to mentally make someone tough.
Okay.
So a lot of it is, even when they do good, they did shit. Like, you think you did good, but you could have did that 10 times harder. You could have jumped higher. You could have spent faster. You could have, you know what I mean? Like, it's always something that they can do better. So I think for the most part, the training side of it is more like that. When you're studying to learn basketball, I think the best thing for any new trainer or anybody coming up is to, like I said, go through the top 100. You go in the NBA and you look up the top 100 guys.
Okay.
And when you can study all top 100 and you can know their games and you can bring something out your bag in a second when somebody needs it, I think that's when you become really good at what you do. Because it's hard, man. It's hard. Like, my mentors have always told me everyone has a ceiling, right? And your ceiling is going to be the best player you can be. So, if people were going to say what my ceiling was, they would have said, I would have been a low-end Allen Iverson. That's what people would have said. I would have been like a low-end Allen Iverson. I never got the shot to be at his level, but if I would have got the shot to be at his level, I probably could have done the same things or maybe surpassed what he did at the same height, because me and him are literally the same exact height. So that's kind of everybody's thing is going to be like that. Your height is going to determine who in the NBA is your ceiling. And then the style of your play is going to teach you which player in the NBA is your ceiling. And then you can perfect it and get to a certain level. Your body's going to allow you to get to a certain level. And once it peaks, you're either going to be NBA, overseas, or nothing at all. It's going to be something like that. So you have to find your place. But now, I mean, you see how the internet is and all these leagues and everything. You can play anywhere now. I tell these kids now, like, and if you want to play basketball, bro, just stay with it. They're gonna open up a new league. Somebody gonna have some money and start up a 2-on-2 league.
Bro, we need help in the Olympics in our 3-on-3, homie.
That's because they don't got Frank out there.
Yeah.
Like, they don't got Frank.
It's
and
like
dogs
5 people
out
who
there,
can go out
man.
there for real. Like
did he try?
I don't know, but
For everybody at home, he's talking about Frank Nitty.
All I'm saying is Franklin Session is one of the best basketball players I've ever seen play basketball. And technically, if you ask him, he would not tell you that he's a good basketball player. He's just tougher than you. Frank is the toughest dude that you're going to play against no matter what. You go ask any of the NBA players that came up against him, he's an absolute competitor.
Looks it.
He's an absolute competitor. He competes in the way he dresses. He competes in the way he looks. He competes in the way he treats his wife. He competes in the way he takes care of his kids. He is an absolute all-around competitor. I look at Frank as family. I trained Frank with Keon for 3 years, helped him out, went down, all types of stuff. And Frank is a top-end dude that plays basketball at the highest level. And if you look at the big three right now, they have at least 5 players that should have been looked at for that roster.
Absolutely.
At least 5 players that should have been looked at for that roster. No offense to the guys on the team. No offense to the guys that are playing right now, but I'm just saying, like, you got a guy like Chris Johnson, 6'11", with a 7'3" wingspan, shoots the three, handles the ball, jumps out the gym, and blocks everything that you throw up there. And he's not in the Olympics. Like, it just doesn't make sense. You got Frank, who can guard the best guards in the world at the NBA level. I mean, Dame Lillard was his roommate in college, and Dame has gone on record to say the best basketball player not in the NBA is probably Frank Nitti. So that tells you right there, like, how is he not getting those types of things? But at the end of the day, Frank may not even wanted to be out there.
I think he said that before.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Frank might not even wanted to be out there.
In the
But,
Olympics?
yeah, I'm just saying. Like,
Professional.
yeah, if you, I
Gold
don't know
medals,
if you,
baby?
I don't know if you know Frank.
No, yeah, I
But
do.
if
I
you-
do.
if
I
you
do,
know
I understand.
Frank,
Yeah, I understand.
you know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it ain't
that
about
ain't that ain't it.
Yeah.
That's not it for Frank. Like,
Yeah.
that's not what it's about for Frank. Frank is about pushing the needle.
Yeah.
You know, he's breaking into realms that I just told him the other day, man, you're breaking realms and breaking doors down for young black men and young people that no one has ever done. You know, like, this dude is doing Hermes things and da da da. It's like, come on, man. Like, you never think a kid from Watts
Yep.
would be doing what he's doing right now. And that's a huge shout out to him, man. He's my boy. I rock with him heavy. You know, I ain't never let I let it be known. Anybody talk bad about him, you around me, you gonna deal with me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my dog. You know what I mean? Like, he really gets it. He ain't never changed from day one. He's never changed. He's always been the same person. And, you know, that's the reason why I always give him his clout and his credit when it's due.
That's the first person I ever seen do that flow state thing. And I seen him do it a couple times, and I was just like, dude is
Yeah.
unconscious.
And
he don't even care.
when he gets into his
It's
state,
a problem.
it's a whole nother level because he's just dunking on people.
And that's what,
He's
that's
just
what
dunking
it
on
was. It
people.
was
On
one
both
time.
sides, too.
Yeah,
It was
he
one
was
time at the
ball.
Drew League, bro, and he got it, and he was in a triple threat on the corner, and he did a one jab.
Jab, he's gone baseline, one
I
dribble.
was like,
Bro, his one dribble. Yeah,
What
that
are you
shit
doing? What is he
insane.
doing?
now this is a crazy story.
He took that shit from me.
This is a crazy story. No, this is a crazy story. What he just said, that's how I met Frank.
Oh,
wait, no, you
same
gotta tell
exact
it
move.
down.
Or what?
I'm a realist. I don't lie about nothing.
Now you gotta tell it.
I don't lie about nothing. We in Fuego's hoop camp. We in the Fuego's hoop camp. It's a camp that they run for guys to try to get a job in Mexico. Frank was supposed to be in a G League workout and he had messed up his finger. So he was like, all right, he went to the Enfuego thing. I've never seen Frank before in my life, never heard of him, don't know nothing about him. Everybody matches up. I say I got him.
Disrespect.
Skinny little black dude. I'm thinking, he's gonna be fast. Kid you not. Right baseline. He catches the ball. He jabs hard, goes baseline, takes one dribble, and dunks on this African dude in the middle of the key. Boom! I was like, oh. What the hell was that? Literally, Sean Rooks, rest in peace, Sean Rooks. He was our coach for the camp. He took off. I looked at him. He looked at me and said, I was like, yeah, what the hell
I
was
didn't
that?
expect that.
I was like, what was that? And in the whole game, me and him was battling. But that's what I mean by, like, that's crazy that you just said what he did.
Yeah.
That's how I met Frank.
That's crazy.
He took off baseline the same way. Hard jab, one dribble, dunk.
Oh,
And I was like, that's crazy because
That was
I didn't
sick.
even expect the move. I'm thinking he's in the baseline. He going to kick it or he going to try to dribble out or something like that. Nah, he took the baseline.
And
Yeah,
at 6'2",
yeah.
he's
and that's the thing. Like he's not even a tall guy like that. For him to be doing that, like it looks like
He a tall
some
6'2".
NBA Kobe shit or some.
I mean, but
like some
that's
2K
Watts,
shit.
man.
He a
Like,
tall
That's
6'2".
Watts. I'm not even going to lie,
that's
bro.
a fact.
Most of the cats from Watts, I don't know what it is. They just naturally got metal legs. They jump, man. They jump. I'm telling you, like his cousin Speedo. You know Speedo.
I don't think I missed it.
But if you ever see Speedo the same way, man. Speedo the fastest thing moving. You cannot stay in front of Speed ever. You will never be able to do it. I think Speed will be fast when he's 70.
If you pass that 70, you
Like, I'm dead serious, bro.
Okay.
Like he plays in the Drew League, all that. Bro, can't stop him.
That's crazy.
Can't stop him. He's just crazy fast.
Let's take a quick break. Because I'm the same way. Like, I'll look at somebody like, bro, he's not that good.
That's kind of what y'all doing in Cam right now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But, he
Cam
can't guard
what?
me. Some new guy that works here.
Oh, okay.
Kenyon Martin's son.
Cam Martin.
The smallest.
Cameron Martin.
He works here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Super
Yeah,
random.
that's our little homie.
Super random.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
not playing ball?
Maybe you should come talk to him.
I'm not. No, that's not my world.
He got a.
That's not my world.
He want to be a fashion designer.
He's a smart
Yeah,
man.
yeah, he's smart.
Smart man.
Yeah, he's smart.
man.
And I'm pretty sure his pops
He
made him
check?
get a job. Like just
I
for
would- I would do the same thing because if you break it down, you
recording?
get into it now
Should
and you
be.
figure it out now. And then by the time you're, getting established, now your brother's your first client.
Yeah.
It's an easy segue to get into the NBA and start doing that stuff at that level.
That's true.
Like I told Isaiah Elohim's brother the same thing. Isaiah Elohim brother Savion Elohim, he has the craziest, coolest, like kind of rocker / pop swag that he puts together, kind of like a fusion type vibe. And I told him, I said, when Isaiah goes to the league, you need to be his stylist. And he was like, I don't know. I'm like, no, you're not listening to me. You need to be his stylist because you will blow up. You will become one of the biggest names in style because of the way you dress people.
They're gonna walk through the tunnel and be like,
Right.
"Yo, what's he rocking?
Exactly.
Who did that?"
We know a couple of stylists too. We pulling up.
Yeah, but like, don't you want to like follow in their footsteps and
Try
like?
to go
I
old?
asked him. I asked Cam. I was like, yo, like, would you have liked to play with your dad or do you want to play with your brother? And he was like, not my dad. Like he was talking shit. But then he was saying, yeah, my brother, yes. Like LeBron with his son. First time this ever happened. What do you think about that?
This is not the first time it's ever happened.
Who was playing with their dad?
Rick Barry.
And Brent Berry?
Yeah, Rick Barry and Brent Barry, they play on the same team.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Say it again.
Yeah.
You- on every
I'm pretty sure.
mad people
I'll
saying
fact
that.
check it right now, but I'm just
He
No,
got
no,
it,
he got us. He got
I
us.
was about to say.
No, mad people was saying, have been saying LeBron.
It says Brent and his father, Rick Barry, are the second father-son duo to each win an NBA championship as a player. The first was, actually, it doesn't say. I'll do
Did
more
they
research.
play
Played together.
Let me see.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was on the same team at one point.
If that's
Yeah.
crazy, we
Maybe it was
start spewing that.
Maybe it
one
was
then.
a coach son. Like the Rivers did it.
Who?
The Rivers
Austin
Doc
Rivers.
Oh,
Rivers.
Austin and Doc.
Rivers.
Yeah.
I don't see any articles
I
that
think
mention
I
that.
think they played
Or
on
if
the
they
same-
Go
trying
ahead,
to
go ahead, go
look,
ahead.
I love people trying to rewrite history. So if they trying to rewrite history with some black people, I'm cool with it.
I personally don't. I personally think that people are absolutely ridiculous on this whole concept of
Father son.
the
Nepotism.
father-son thing and the whole like LeBron and
Shit
Bronny
happened
and
here.
everything like that. If you go look at Bronny's stats at the actual combine, Bronny's an NBA player.
Really?
If you go look at his stats from the combine,
Got you.
Does
Got
it
you, got
combine?
you. Got you. Got you.
40-inch vertical,
Got you.
runs the 40 in a 4.3, 4.4.
Yeah.
Let's just do this conversation.
Good
No,
defensive
hate.
player.
I am gonna
Yeah,
hate.
go
I am
ahead.
gonna hate.
Hey,
Go ahead.
It's just hard to get combine. I totally agree. But he didn't play enough college, and he wasn't a high enough ranked high school player to make it in the NBA.
So wait. So wait.
Because he only
Wait,
played.
wait,
he only
wait.
played like 8 games in
Wait.
college because he had the heart issue.
That's not how you can look at life, bro. Because what about Jimmy Butler?
He played 2 years of his last at Marquette, and he was balling out.
But what about Jimmy Butler? He was a no-name nobody in high school.
I wouldn't go
Yeah.
off that, but going off his
I'm-
recent college experience,
All I'm saying to you is that you're looking at a kid that has been training and developing his entire life to play in the NBA. It's his entire life. His entire life has been, I want to make it to the NBA, not because of my dad, but because I like basketball.
and I have access.
Mind you,
Marcus,
I was training a player. I was training
going
a
that
player
way.
that was on the same team as him in high school, Isaiah Elohim. I was at practices and saw him. That's a high level basketball player.
because
Just because he didn't get the opportunities doesn't mean anything. I mean, let's be real. And we had a guy make it to the NBA, and he's now one of the highest paid NBA players in the world in Kyrie Irving. And he played what? 3 games?
fuck, you right.
2 games
But
in
he-
college?
but
But
he-
are we talking about Kyrie Irving?
No,
now?
no, no. But those 3,
But
4
Kyrie Irving
games,
is
he
a
averaged
whole-
20 something.
Kyrie Irving is a
And 20
monster.
something in college, you
But you're
got to
not-
understand that.
How do you
that's-
average 20 something in college by playing 3 games, 4 games? That's
But that's still
like that's
still-
not fair.
That's
Like,
still outrageous.
I'm just saying he didn't even play a full season. He played in the playoffs when he was cleared to play. Like, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it's
They was
Don't-
right though.
don't knock a player.
was right there.
Don't knock a player because his dad has pull or he didn't play high school or he didn't do this, do that. There's dudes out there. I know people that have never played high school basketball, never played college ball, and they are big time overseas players right now. It doesn't mean anything. If you can hoop, you can hoop. And at the end of the day, I'll tell you like this. If he ran into the gym with you, you'd have trouble.
Fuck all that. Fuck
I'm
all
not.
that. I'm crossing up Bronny
just-
right now.
I'm letting you know. I'm letting you
I'm
know
that
right
delusional.
now. I'm letting you know.
I literally
right
said
now.
this on the last pod. I
I'm
said
letting
the
you
same
know
thing.
right
I'm gonna
now.
let you know I'm a delusional motherfucker.
Hey, you
I'm
can
be
hey,
delusional all you
hey,
want.
It was a lot of motherfuckers being delusional when they said they could knock out Tyson. They ass hit that mat too.
but that
You know what I'm
wasn't
saying?
nobody. That wasn't nobody.
wasn't
Slept his
no-
ass.
Yeah, he got slept two fights after that too, right back by the same person.
But he's a legend.
You know what I'm saying? So
Slept
all I'm
his
saying
ass. He's a
is
legend, though. That's
that,
all I did.
all I'm saying is that if you look
Legendary
at the way
status.
Bronny did in the combine, by his combine performance, which technically is supposedly that's the standing base on if you're supposed to be in the league or not. In his combine performance, he was one of the top dudes at the combine, which means he's supposed to be in the league. Now, mind you, we're talking about the second round's 55th pick. You're not talking about a dude that went first round, top 10. You're not talking about none of that. He's not expected to be a LeBron James. He's expected to possibly
Be an NBA player.
play in the NBA or get a D-League stint. That's what he is expected of right now.
Can I?
Crazier thing is, I will give Bronny James his flowers because top 10 pick Mr. Alex Starr. Have you seen his
Alex,
summer league stint?
I mean, you know, I tell people like this, man, the summer league is summer league, and you're dealing with your first ever opportunity to play on this stage. No, my first opportunity to play overseas basketball, I tell people this all the time. we was playing in some school, I forget. I came down, the first three I took, I shot it over the backboard.
Type shit.
I was so nervous. I had never played pro ball. I had never been out the country. I had never really even got that many shots up with them ball because the molten ball feels way different.
Way different.
I had never really got that many shots up, and I didn't get a practice before our first game. I got in, next day we had our game. So I didn't really get a practice. I didn't get no warm-up shots, no nothing. I took that shot, and it was over with.
You open it?
Yeah.
Open the door.
It was over with. I shot the ball literally directly over the backboard.
That's hard.
From the middle of the floor. I shot it. Was like, oh, I knew it was gone. I knew it was gone right when I shot it.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like I knew it was gone right when I shot it. So that's what I mean by like you just gotta let guys get their rhythm and kind of just get moving in the league. It's gonna happen as it happens.
Somebody told you would have had an 8-year pro career playing England and China and all over the world. Would you have believed it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would have told him I'm gonna have a longer career in the NBA. That would have been my response.
Okay.
But yeah, if somebody would have told me that as a kid, I'd have been like, absolutely.
What do you think stopped you from going to the NBA?
Me?
What was you doing? Street shit? What was you doing? Just not paying attention?
I was doing dumb shit.
Females?
Doing dumb shit in the street.
Okay.
Wasn't taking school serious. Didn't listen to my peers. Didn't listen to any of the coaches that were trying to help me. I'm the epitome of a guy that you should not do what I did. If I could go back and do it all over again right now, I would have been a 4.5 GPA student. I would have took the SAT my freshman, sophomore, and junior year before my senior year. I would have not had to take the SAT my senior year because I would have had a high enough score on it by my junior year to go to college. I would have been in the NCAA clearinghouse by my sophomore year, and I would have probably had 12 to 15 scholarships easy.
People underestimate how easy it is to go through like high school and college. College may be a little bit difficult, more difficult, right? But high school is the easiest thing you could do. You just show up and pay attention. It is.
Yeah, I mean,
it really is.
Depending on who you are. Like I was a kid that didn't want to be in school at all. I just wanted to be in the gym.
Exactly.
So it was very hard for me to sit in a classroom.
I was the
any
same.
teacher.
I was artistic, not autistic. Artistic, and because you said, what did you say? But I knew you were. But anyway, I was like that too. I didn't want to be in school. I want to go create.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So same thing. I know it's people who was in the gym. They're like, I want to go hoop, bro. I don't care about that. And you don't really need it because you're kind of smart in every other way. You know what I mean? Like the book isn't that. But when you look back on retrospect, you're like, bro, that was the easiest thing I could have done. could just apply myself for a good 8 hours. It's work. It's basically work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And got it done and then did whatever. So
Yeah.
I like that you said that, honestly. That was
I'm not the guy that tries to tell kids not to go to school. I'm not the guy that tells kids to go to homeschool or nothing like that. I believe that a big part of being a good basketball player is having those credible life skills that you have to have in order to, when your coach says, "What's wrong with you?" You can be like, "I got you, coach. I can change that." You know? And you have to have the discipline to get up every day and go to school. You have to have the discipline to get up every day and do your homework and make sure it's done before you get there and everything like that. You have to have the discipline to still get up early, go for that run or do those 300, 400, 500 push-ups and the ab work and all that, and then go to school. You know what I mean? Like, you have to have that discipline. And once you develop those disciplines, I think that that's when you really see the guys separate themselves. You know, like I have a kid right now. When he first came to me, he was small, you know, heavy set, didn't really have a lot going for himself, was no self-confidence, was low on himself, everything like that. He went from that to he didn't make the team his freshman year of basketball. He was down. I'm quitting. I don't want to do this no more. And this year, fast forward a year's time, workouts, training, everything like that. He's a varsity player now.
Oh, that's
You know, he made his coach eat his words. You know, you're not good enough to play here. Oh, you know what? I need you on varsity.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it just, I think if you really want it and you really want to get there, I think you just figure it out. I think you just really figure it out and you make it happen. And
You got to keep trusting the people that believe in you too.
yeah,
Sure.
really, you just need one person that believes in you.
one.
If you have one person that believes in you and you can lock into them, as opposed to like worrying about everyone else around you, but if that one person believes in you and you can put all your trust and faith into that one person's beliefs, you can go real far. You can go real, real far.
You ever got cut before?
No. Never. Never been cut. Never would have allowed it.
You good. You should.
Yeah, I would have never, no.
Never know.
Like, no, it's
not happening.
Getting cut would have been, it would have been such a disrespectful thing to me, my family, my everything. Like I said, I got 9 older brothers. Like they push me every day.
Mhm.
So for me to get cut, you'd had to have an all NBA team.
Mm.
You know, like you had to have 12 guys already on that roster that were going
To the NBA.
to the NBA. And then I would be, you know, okay, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm not supposed to be on this team. I'll play on the team that's going to play against them,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to play with these dudes. Because that's what I did in high school. I didn't team up with nobody in high school. That's why I chose Kennedy High School. None of my friends went there.
Would it have been different if you teamed up with those guys?
Yes.
Would
Yeah.
you do that
We
now?
would have won state championships for sure.
Yeah.
With
I mean,
with
that's-
me at the helm of like a Taft High School. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's so interesting to me because, like, when you think about it, like, we should have clicked up with the homies and ran the city.
I think nowadays you see that. I think nowadays you see it, but I think it dilutes basketball.
Yeah.
You know,
That was a different era.
When
You
I was
wanted to be the guy.
when I was coming up, you had 8 schools in California that were in this area, and just in this little LA area, you had 8 schools that were top end schools.
Yeah.
They were top end schools. You played against those dudes, you had a battle on your hands. Now, Sierra Canyon has everybody, they beat everybody by 30. Like, what's the point? Why am I going to watch this game?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then you see what happened. The Harvard, Westlake's, these schools, they all started tapping in. You know what I mean? And that's why, like, guys like Trent Perry, who, you know, shout out to Trent, that's my little brother. I've been working with Trent since the 8th grade. You know, shout out to the All-American himself, Mr. Basketball of California, all that type of stuff. When you tap in and you create your own bubble at a school, you get to compete with all of those great teams. And
Yeah.
I think that's what was lost from our era, which was creating the bubble. We would create a
Mhm.
bubble at a school, and we would recruit people. People would want to come play with us, as
Yeah.
opposed to us going to play with our friends. People would want to come and play with you because you were so good that they would want to team up with you to now be better, and then stuff like that. So I think that was the era that I'm from. I went to the school that no one else went to, and when I saw my friends, it was personal.
Fire.
It was personal. It was
To
personal.
go off that, we're gonna move on to some rapid fire questions. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions about basketball and see what you think. All right.
All right,
So,
no doubt, no doubt.
who is your GOAT as of right now?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan
Michael Jeffrey Jordan
over Kobe,
over everyone.
He said Michael Jordan, sir.
over LeBron James.
He said
Over
Michael
everyone.
Bill Russell?
Jordan.
LeBron James cannot be the GOAT technically.
Why not?
Oh,
He's lost too many times in the playoffs.
That makes you
the
not
playoffs
the
or
GOAT?
the finals.
He's lost too many times in the playoffs.
That
Mm.
makes you not the GOAT?
I don't believe he can be the GOAT of basketball. I believe he can be the GOAT of statistics.
Okay.
But he can't be the GOAT of basketball. The guys that can be considered the GOAT of basketball, they win everything.
So Bill Russell, would he technically be
Bill Russell would be technically a bigger GOAT than a Jordan or a Kobe.
Yeah.
Wilt would be technically a bigger GOAT than those guys as well. But again, you're talking about guys that played in eras where they were so much better than the guys that they were playing. It's like if you break it down, Wilt Chamberlain, the average height for basketball players when
Mailman
Wilt
height.
Chamberlain,
6'8" at best?
no,
Mailman height.
no,
A little shorter. A little
they were
bit.
like 6'4".
Yeah,
6'4"
at
6'5".
best.
They're all
yeah.
mailman.
Yeah.
Just walk around, delivering
If
mail.
you look at Bill Russell's, there was a lot more bigger players there, so you give him more credit because he did it against guys his size.
What about a Kareem and a Magic?
I believe Kareem and Magic are dual players. They're dual players. They're together. You don't have a Kareem without a Magic, and you don't have a Magic without a Kareem.
Facts.
They're on the same tier to me.
They tried to do that with LeBron and KD, but it's not a dual thing.
But
I mean,
What about Kobe?
It's not.
Kobe,
what
I
about
feel like
Kobe?
Kobe got 5.
He's just the only
in
one we
era
haven't talked
which
about.
was done
Kobe
tough.
is and this is a hard thing for me to say because I love Kobe. Kobe is greatness prepared. That makes sense.
Let that sink in.
Like
Nah, I need a further elaboration. on that.
greatness prepared. He prepared to be great.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan was naturally great.
Yep.
Like he was naturally great. He worked so hard and he developed into such an animal that his willpower took over. Because if you look at Mike's game, he didn't have all of the moves and all the things that Kobe had. He didn't have all the go-tos. He didn't shoot the three as well as Kobe. But the one thing that Mike did was he just killed you. He just demoralized you. He took your heart and he didn't step on it. He just held it. It was like, it's mine now.
I would say Kobe had that same factor though.
I would say Kobe would just make you rethink basketball. Like, am I supposed to be playing? Like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be doing it.
Should I be hooping?
Because he just worked that hard, like
Yeah, like,
that
I
much
was-
harder than everybody else.
I was 14 years old. This dude named Derek Avery's comes to one of my games, and he says, "I want to take you to a summer run." Like, I don't know you. Think my parents gonna let me just go somewhere with this random dude? He's like, no. I'm the AD at UCLA. I want you to come to UCLA. And I'm like, oh, okay, boom. I'll go run
UCLA.
Yeah.
Rico.
At the time, Jordan Farmar I'm going into my freshman year, and Jordan Farmar is in his freshman year of college.
Damn.
So I'm thinking I'm gonna go to like one of the small gyms and we're gonna play. No, he walks me in the Poly Pavilion,
Mm.
and I'm like, and I'm up here in the stairs, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, I don't think I'm supposed to be in this room. And he's like, yeah, come on, I'll introduce you to the guys. I'm like, the guy, you don't have to introduce me to nobody. I see Baron Davis. I see Kevin Garnett. I see Paul Pierce. I see Kobe Bryant. I see You don't got to introduce me to nobody. I'm going to go introduce myself.
Yeah.
I'm a fan right now.
Yeah.
I'm not playing in this.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I want you to suit up. At 14 years old, I'm suiting up, putting my shoes on, and I'm looking across from me, and the dude putting his shoes on and looking across from me is Kobe Bryant. And I'm thinking to myself, what the hell did I just get myself into?
Should I be playing?
Should I be playing?
Like, what the hell? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, this is nuts. Right? So get on the floor. I'm watching. Couple games go by. And then Al Harrington.
Al Harrington was there?
Friend of the story.
Al Harrington goes, hey, young ball, let's go. Start looking around again. Like, who the hell is he talking to?
Oh, you.
I get on the floor. He like, hey, bro, look, I'm going to tell you right now, I know you're young. Every time you touch the ball, throw that bitch up. Don't hold on to it. I was like,
Respect.
all right. So, ball touches my hands. First thing I do, I see him. I launch the ball up. Out of nowhere, Kobe hand just goes, whoop. And I went, where the hell did he come from?
Did he talk shit?
No, I mean, he was down the floor. He just ran in front, took the ball. And I was just like, oh, shit. And he was like, guard up. Like, that's what Al said, guard up. And I was like,
shit.
guard who? Like, what? And he's coming downhill on a full head of steam. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I try to step forward, blow by, dunk. Just, damn.
Wait, how tall are you and what was your weight at the time?
I was probably like 5'6",
Oh,
like
my God, that's a whole
135, 145 pounds, right? So I'm like, all right, cool. But I still had that. I had that I didn't give a fuck attitude still. I still had that about me. So he scores, and when he comes off the dunk, he's running back, and he smiles at me, and he goes, it's all good, young buck.
Oh.
And when he said that, exactly.
You're a sick fuck.
Right away. Exactly. I looked, ball. And I ran directly down his side of the floor. Like, nah, that's out. Like, you're not about to treat me like that. Tried to make a move. He took that shit. Nigga, give me the ball. Give me the ball. Comes down, and then he waits for me to get back on defense. And as he waits for me to get back on defense, there's somebody coming over to like set a screen, and he waves him like this. No screen. And he put me in the Kobe system right away. Bump, shift, bump. One, shift, turn, wow. He hits me on my side like, you'll get there. You'll get there. Mind you, I have no chance of guarding Kobe. No chance. I'm not big enough, strong enough, nothing. But I had one opportunity to where I caught Kobe in the switch, and I ended up getting downhill, and I scored. Right? At 14, I scored. And I don't know if it was a fluke layup or if it was just, I don't know, but I got downhill. He was right there, and I laid it, made a bucket. He told me, good work, and I didn't score another point that entire game.
Oh, yeah.
He made sure that I didn't score another point that entire game. And I think he ended up having like 8 out of the 11 points.
Mm-hmm.
And I just remember like sitting down, and they all like, it was pretty cool that like Baron and all the guys, they all like sat around all the younger guys and was like giving information and kind of talking and just saying, hey, like, some of you guys, because it was not just me there, but it was like 2 other young guys that were there they were saying like, you guys have it. Like, you guys might be looking at a career. And they were just giving us information and kind of breaking stuff down to us and letting us know like that, even though they're so much better than us right now, if we keep working, we could possibly be on that level eventually. So that was a pretty cool situation for me.
It was supposed to be rapid fire, but a Kobe story came out of that, so I just shut up and let it happen.
Yeah.
Pros or overseas?
Rapid fire.
Overseas.
Playing or training?
Playing.
Shooting or dunking?
Dunking.
NBA or college?
NBA.
Loyalty or respect?
Both.
Nah, big one.
I did. I
Why
said
both? Why both? Could you touch on both of those real quick?
Respect is something that is earned. Respect is something that is rarely given anymore. Respect is something that's earned. Loyalty is something that you can trust. Love is something that doesn't really matter. But loyalty is my version of love. If I'm loyal to you, I love you.
Great definition.
If I respect you, then I'm probably going to be loyal to you as well.
It's a great definition.
I could dig it.
Since this is a sneaker show and we're obviously in the Magnolia Park, growing up, obviously a hooper. Were you big into the shoe scene at all?
Huge.
Well, what was your go-to sneaker off the court, on the court? How was that for you?
Off the court, when I was a kid, Forces, Air Force One, a classic white pair, a classic black pair. No high tops though. I didn't do no high top
While hooping?
Forces. No, I didn't do no high top Forces.
No, we
that was only then.
We didn't
That
do
was
high
only
tops.
then.
Period.
They did the middies. They did
Yeah,
the
we
middies
did. We
with
did
the
the
strap.
middies. Yeah, we did the middies. We didn't do high tops. Period though. Like in the street.
They did the midi.
though.
with the
Hey, he did
strap.
that to us, bro.
Were you,
That's
were
strong,
you the guy?
bro.
Were you the guy that used to like just put your strap like in a little circle right there on the
you know
side, or
strap
did you
that.
put it?
I
all
only
the way?
wore mid tops on that team.
No, I'm saying, but did you put your
Oh
strap?
no, I
did you
strapped
put
it
the-
on.
You put the strap
Yeah,
on.
I put it
You-
on. Put it on. Yeah.
I thought he would. I thought he would have had the little circle on the side.
I
For
would've
me,
done that.
we
I
didn't
would've
like
done
when our
that.
strap, when that little strap was hanging back like that. So I always made sure it was locked in.
Got you.
If it hang like that, it's over for those.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, so for me, I would always go with like a pair of Chuck Taylors.
Yep.
I was a Chuck Taylor kid. I was a Forces kid, and I was a Jordan kid.
No, we appreciate you coming by, brother. Seriously, like your insight on basketball is just uncanny. You know what I mean? I know people are gonna look back at this episode and be like, "That's it, that's it." I seen Mike have an aha moment while you were talking. I was like,
Yeah.
"Damn, am I having an aha moment after?" Check myself. Like, this is amazing. So we just appreciate you for coming on. Much more success going forward. Can you train me?
Facts.
Because
He needs it.
He
Facts.
needs it.
I could train anybody.
I'm humble. I need.
They
How
wanna
much
get
is
in
it
there?
expensive?
Nah, it's not expensive. Work on your budget, man.
$5.
Work on your budget.
Well,
That's
My
it.
budget's
That's-
not $5. I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
what like 150 get me?
A
Dribble
one-on-one
package.
session with me.
We're gonna record it.
One-
Y'all want to see
session?
that?
We're gonna record
One-on-one
it.
session with me.
Both
We
of
should
us.
do it?
Both of us.
Yeah, we could do that.
Hey, let's play
We
King
gotta
of
hit
Court.
that. We gotta hit
I'm
Gil.
in.
Hey, we going to Yale too.
Yeah, we gotta take this guy to Gil.
Where?
The Dunk Master.
The Dunk Master.
I'm interested. I can't wait. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
My guy's gonna make a big sell right now. So he hit it with Mike in the back. He a little scared. He a little shy, y'all. Off to go with the training. Where was I? Where was I?
Why don't we just ask that last the question about
I know, but I got on my bag for that question. I had to re-enter the bag real quick. Re-enter the bag
what's your
Could-
end goal with coaching?
to touch off the differences between training and playing. You learn these traits from being coached. So you learn like be on time. Obviously, that killer instinct. Like you got coached those things, and I got the opportunity to become a coach as well. I was a freshman coach, so I taught those intangibles alongside the skills. Like obviously, you got to teach your kids the skills, not the tardy, just to be prepared, split personality. Like you gotta all those killer mentalities, and just to teach them how to be a man at the end of the day. Would you say you were more self-fulfilled from playing, or was it more self-fulfilling from teaching those intangibles to those kids in coaching and training?
Jen, the question is, what did I learn more, or what did the kids learn more?
Well, what was more self-fulfilling for you, playing or coaching, basically?
Playing was more fulfilling for me because, like I said, basketball is like my safe haven, my serenity, my paradise. That's where I live. It's like the other version of me. That's That's like where I want to be. But the concept of like the coaching, it gives me a different version of happiness because I'm able to teach a kid how to be sometimes something more than what they already are, or tap into something that they're trying to get to. And as I said, the coaching thing is more of like for the kids. It's more about them. It's more about governing them and teaching them how to be men. So for me, it's like, that's really it about the coaching thing. But if you're asking me, what brings me more happiness? The playing side.
Playing side, I
definitely
feel like
gives
that's always.
me more happiness.
If he was
Yeah.
like right there at the cusp of being an NBA player, you're at the highest level of basketball. I feel like it's always going to be playing, but I'm pretty sure coaching gives you that itch to play, but you're still around the game.
Yeah,
which is the fire
exactly.
part.
Just gives us it gives you a different view of it, a different breakdown on it. Yeah.
Facts. How long have you been coaching or training per se?
Training, I would say I'm going on my 10th year. 10th year of training. 9 and 10th year. Coaching, I would say about 5 years.
5 years. 5 years in, 10 years in training. What would you say is your end goal for basketball as a whole? Do you see yourself doing it until you, fortunately, either retire or just give up the ties, or until you just lay to rest?
I think basketball will be something that I do no matter what for the rest of my life. I don't think that I'll ever retire from coaching and training. I don't think that portion of me will ever die out. My end game for basketball is to be able to develop some of the best players in the world. Keep moving the game forward, keep developing the game, and keep, developing young men and young women that can be stand-up young men and young women, as opposed to being, bad people or disrespectful or rude or anything like that. Being humble individuals that are killers on the court.
That's amazing, man. It was a great opportunity to have you on this show, man.
I appreciate
I
y'all.
look
for
up to your
having me,
game, man. I look up to you as a whole. You're a great
Love, bro.
person, a great
Appreciate it.
mentor. Hope to see you on the show. I hope we get a training session in soon.
No doubt.
Oh, good training session. My guy C's in the back. He's doing the big time sale right now. We're gonna wrap this up. Once again, appreciate you, bro. Any last words for your fans, for anybody who's watching right now?
Man, just when it comes down to this basketball thing and this life thing, just make sure that you have fun while you do it. Keep a smile on your face and never change who you are for anything or anyone.
Poetry.
Fire.
This has been another episode of the Fair Game Podcast. This is your host, Cash. Tell him.
I'm your host, C13.
Mikey Reds.
Rob Valentine.
I appreciate y'all for watching. Yell it. He's gonna come out there real quick.
Remember, you're the main character in your story. Hoop like it.